Hello there. Right. Well, let's start by looking at this phrase that you need to look within. Everything that you need is within you. And that's how we need to be. And you hear this phrase, quite a lot. But do you really know what it means, and why is it important? Now, to look at why is it important first, is the following. The reason this is important is because there are two ways that people can be. There are two ways people can operate. One is by following that idea that we go from within to find our feelings, our truth, and we go from within and carry on. That's one way we can be human beings, and that way is I would argue is the way we're supposed to be. It's where humanity is at its best. It's where we can use our imagination. It's where we can be creative. It's where we're different to a computer because we have feelings, and we can have inspirations. We can be if I work with someone else who's like this, then what we can create, the two of us, is bigger than what we could create as individuals. It's human alchemy. It's where human alchemy lives. And this is how we are supposed to work. However, we're not taught this. We're not taught this. We're not shown how to do it. And this is what the EDM Academy does. The second way people tend to be, and this is most people, unfortunately, but it doesn't have to be, is that they don't go from within. They are sort of in their mind. They're kind of up here. So rather than being in their body and being and doing, they're kind of up here. And what they're doing is they're finding their motivation, their validation, their sense of being, their sense of everything from how well they're doing relative to everyone else outside. And this is very linear. So I need to be, if been doing really well, if I've got lots of money, I've got a nice house, etc., I think I'm okay because I have scored what I see as a tick, as a gold star, and that's great. But I'm actually using the outside and how other people are doing as my measurement. Okay? So if I have £10 and everyone around me has £20, I will see that as a failure. So I will not score a tick, and I will think I am a failure. Right? That's that. It's relative. It's relative. Now, when you do use the outside to get this type of energy, I call it mind energy. And the EDM Academy examines this in huge detail. In fact, this is what it's really about. Looking at this sort of thing, people are at the risk of becoming trapped, stressed, anxious, panicked, and it's very unlikely they will be free. It's quite likely that they will follow the construct that they're told to do, and they were very vulnerable to be led by others, including governments. So not only is it not a very good idea because at the moment the governments are becoming more controlling by the minute, but actually it creates a different life experience. And I would argue that we don't truly experience our life as loving, caring, creative human beings if we are like that. And I call that the mind dynamic. So why this is important to learn how to look within for your good feelings. That is why, because if you don't do that, then you are liable to become very led by your mind, and you're likely to become consumed by the construct that we live in, and you will want to fit in despite what your deepest feelings are about this. You will just want to fit in, and you want to do well because your mind is making a relative judgment, and if you do well and get approval, you will think you're okay, and so you will get sucked in slowly. If, however, so that's why it's dangerous, because it makes us weak, basically, and it spoils our opportunity to have a beautiful life here as a human being. it spoils that opportunity. We just become a cog in a wheel there, really, in a machine that we don't even know what the machine is. Whereas if we are not a cog in the wheel in the machine, then we can actually think, well, you're just not a cog in a machine. You're who you are. If you then want to work in that machine, fine, because you've chosen to do that. You can work there for a bit and then leave it for a bit, but you know what you're doing it for, and you're not getting your motivation and sense of goodness from that. You're just earning money from that, which is fine. We go into all of this in the courses, okay? All of this is looked at in the EDM Academy courses. So we're not going to go in our mind, and we're not going to find our validation and energy and everything from the outside as a relative achievement anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to find it from within. So we find out that, look, this is how we measure it. This stick here, this represents who you are. This is inside you. This is how you are born. And you have this in you. And most of the time nowadays, sadly, people are totally unaware of this, which is why they have to go into their mind, because they have no other option. And they have to fit in because they have no other option, because they are completely disconnected from who they are. And that's partly because of the way they're being brought up nowadays, and it's partly because of trauma. But again, we look at that in the online classes. So we are now becoming conscious, and this here, this circle here, I've got this consciousness. This represents how conscious you are. So I am aware of I call it myself, my stick self, and these letters stand for elements of your stick self, which we look at in the course. But briefly, that's you being a human, as in a creative human being with feelings, not a computer. Human, your talent, your preference, your learning style, your knowledge, which is wisdom, and your ability. Can I do it? Can I do something? Which is where the mind lives, right? That's who you are. Am I aware of that? Yes. Once I become aware of that, it becomes my measuring stick, and I am no longer using my mind to relatively work out how I'm getting on. I am now able to objectively understand and feel I have £10. That's good enough. And to feel good about that. So whatever I've got, I know, and that's cool, because that's who I am. I'm aware of that. And this circle here stands for the present situation, then the here and now in the earth realm. I'm not in the mind realm. I'm not in the spirit realm. I'm here. So, for example, doing this video now, because that is my here and now. My here and now is this doing this video. I'm aware of my present. I'm aware of the situation. Given who I am, is that creating a good feeling for me? Yes, it is. These circles are represent good feels. We talk about them in the courses, but basically, I am basically feeling this full of good feels at the moment, because my stick self here, my stick self, there he is, there I am. My stick self is feeling good given my situation, so I have all this good feels, and you feel that like in your stomach area, a good strong feeling. So for example, if I'm doing this video and I'm feeling good as I'm doing this video because my brain knows who I am and is aware of that, and it's good. If someone says they don't like it, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not doing it just for that, right? I'm doing it because of who I am given my situation. If someone does like it, that's great. I do get what I call a mind energy buzz, a tick, a gold star, but that's a bonus. That's an extra. It's a frilly, okay? But because I feel good anyway about doing this, if I get that as well, it's great. If I didn't know this, if I didn't know that, and I thought I got to do a video because I need some money because that's my job, and I just did this video, right? And I was focusing on I need to do this video because it's my job, and then no one bought it or no one liked it, then I would become crashing down, because relatively speaking, I've done a load of rubbish. Because relatively speaking, I was doing this because I wanted some attention. And if I don't get it, or money, or whatever it is I'm looking for, whatever it is I'm craving, because I don't have good feels here. I mean, obviously it's great if someone likes it, but if they don't, I still feel good. Right? So that's the difference between living in your mind, going outside, and finding everything you need is within you, right? It's funny because really it's very simple. It's how you measure it. And if you measure it from who you are with your stick self, as this, if you use that as your measuring instrument, you'd get good feels, right? If you don't have that, you can't measure it. It's unconscious. You can't measure it. So you're losing all that part of you. You're losing all that ability to create good feelings because you don't know about it. And that's what the EDM Academy does. It teaches you so you know about this. And once you know about this, you can take it forward, do what you like with it. But at least you know, at least you've got a choice. At least you can choose to come out of your mind, start to understand who you are, start to appreciate your situation, start to change your situation so it's better. And then you can go forward and start to create a better world. Not just for yourself, but for others too. And this is how, in the end, we can become free. So if you like the sound of this, please, please, please join the first online course. It will be free, and email me for further information if you can't find it. info@energydynamic.co.uk. Thank you very much. Take care. See you soon.